I'm going to jump straight in. My name's Claire. I know, obviously, I think I've introduced myself to everybody. I don't introduce them. Oh, you're right. Oh, see, I didn't introduce myself to you. There you go. So we're going to start off. I know some of you have only just done your WOW training, but there's some people in here who've been trained for years as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a quick WOW refresh. We're a small group, so if you've got any questions, just put your hands up. I'm going to go through the agenda, then we're going to go into the talks as well, and then we're going to have a bit of lunch. And then this afternoon, we're going to break out into two groups. So there'll be one group that are already WOW trained, who are going to try some of the new stuff. And then everybody who's going to do the training is going to be with me and Nissa at the back as well. So just kind of said all that. So up first, we've got Julia. After I've done my WOW Fresh, she's going to talk about the gut health, skin health access and how they work symbiotically together. We've got Patricia talking about managing rosacea in clinics, some really practical tips and tricks, and some of her fantastic cases as well. Also a little bit of WOW, which is great. We've got Sam there at the back talking about making tax digital and other things as well. So if you've got any questions around tax, things like that, please get them ready for Sam. Then we've got Sarah, who's going to be talking about what it means to be a quality company, because we're an ISO regulated company, and how we make sure that we're compliant and working within a quality framework. Then we're going to have some lunch. I'm going to do a quick intradermology overview as well. If I get a chance, I might do it before lunch or I might do it afterwards, because it just depends how. I've not put any time pressure on the speakers because I want them to feel relaxed, and they've all got something so valuable to say. I didn't want to kind of cut them off. But if we do it after lunch, before lunch, we've got a little sample station there. So if you want to come and get some samples of the intradermology, and you've got some samples in your bag as well. Q&A, then we're going to have the practical sessions and the training, do some final thoughts. Then if anybody wants to stay and join, have a little bit of a networking and a little bit of Prosecco. We're going to have some Prosecco, and then we'll just finish. Depends how quickly we get through the training, but we'll probably finish. It could be anywhere between 3:30 and 5:30. It depends. It depends how it goes. So, but we'll definitely be aiming to be out of here probably about 4:30, 5:30ish. Okay. I know everybody in here is WOW Fusion trained. You've done the theory at least, and there's a couple that have done the full WOW facial. But the full WOW facial is actually a 6-stage facial that I started developing back in 2016. I worked with medical professionals and facialists, a dermatologist as well, to create probably one of the most hyper-personalised systems that you can have. So me and my dad tried to count out how many variations of a full WOW facial there is, and there's about 864. The reality of it is if you did the full 6 stages of WOW facial, because we're seeing and treating a lot of similar issues, hyperpigmentation, rosacea, fine lines and wrinkles, dehydrated skin, you're probably going to do about 12 variations. So you don't have to think, oh God, how am I going to learn 864 variations? You don't. There's probably about 12. And actually the way that we train WOW facial is that we teach you about the individual products, individual ingredients and skin conditions as well. And there's loads of follow-up training and presentations that you can look at to kind of keep that learning going. But the 6 stages are cleanse and prep. So we always say your cleanser should be selected for your skin type. And we recognise 4 skin types. So dry, oily, sensitive and normal. So you select your correct skin cleanser for your skin type. For your peels, we call it peel and treat. We've got 4 peels, and they are to be selected on your skin condition. So whether it's acne, hyperpigmentation, dull skin, fine lines and wrinkles, rough skin, we have a peel that can treat that. And if anybody wants to put a little peel on the back of their hands or something and then go and wash it off, you can feel the difference and see the difference between the peels. But we can do all that over lunch if you want to have a little try. Then we've got the WOW Fusion with the WOW serums. So we have 4 serums that go in the WOW Fusion device for the face, 1 for the hair as well. We've got 2 different needle lengths. And as you would have known from your training, or if you've been doing WOW for a while, you can you mix up those serums depending on skin type and skin condition. And then whether we're adding botulinum toxin to treat things like excessive oiliness, excessive redness, rosacea, acne, fine lines and wrinkles, excessive facial sweating, all those kinds of things as well. LED light mask. We have our own LED light mask, but we also work with Dermalux as well. So if anybody wants a Dermalux Flex, you can come to me and we can sort you out a little wow discount as well, because we team up with Dermalux. They do have the best LED light technology in the UK and the most clinically trialled product as well. And then the only stage that we don't hyper-personalise, and that's because the mask is absolutely fantastic, and I have tried to develop other masks with other ingredients and just nothing seems to hit the mark like the mask by Wow Facial does, and that's because it works on so many different skin issues. Fine lines and wrinkles, dehydrated skin, redness, inflamed skin, itchy skin. It's really, really calming, really soothing. Just takes all the redness out of the skin. So if there's still a little bit of residual redness from the peel and the microneedling, the Wow mask will take it away. It's fantastic before you have your makeup done, before any events, brides. We have loads of makeup artists that use it. Hillary Clinton had one before she went on GMTV a few years ago. Yeah, I don't think it helped her, to be fair, but her makeup artist uses the Wow mask. And then Finish, Protect and Wow. So this is a range of serums and then our absolute hero product, Synergy 6. Is there anybody in here that doesn't wear SPF? Ooh, yeah, I'm having a word with you at lunchtime, young lady. It is really naughty, yeah. Do you?
Whereas in the I used to go to Submed, I used to stay in the sun from like 7, no cream on whatsoever. As I've got older, my skin's just went up, obviously. So if I'm on the sun for an hour, I do put sunscreen on when I'm tan.
Yeah.
But I just, you want to say this, I get slitty eyes and face puff, so.
Right. Yeah.
Not that I try really good products, but
Yeah.
I'm a bit scared.
Some sensitivity. So, yeah, one of my customers, I don't know if there's anybody in the Happy Injectors Club here. Has anybody heard of Felicity Maguire? So she has a little Happy Injectors Club, just like a small membership club where she supports injectors, other dentists and things as well. She's got really, really sensitive skin. And I was saying to her for ages, just try our Synergy 6, just try our Synergy 6. No, I can't wear SPF, my skin's so sensitive anyway. After about... I said, I'm sending you one for free. I kept ringing her up every week. Have you tried it yet? Have you tried it yet? Anyway, she eventually tried it. She went, it's amazing. I've got no sensitivity. Yeah, and I think that's it. So what we've done with our Synergy 6 is we've encapsulated the chemical filters, which is what people are usually irritated by in liposomes, so they're too big to penetrate the skin. And those chemical filters are then protected by this lipid bilayer that sits on the surface of the skin, because your chemical filters absorb UV radiation, whereas your physical filters reflect them. But that lipid bilayer around the chemical filters protects the chemical filters so they last longer, but prevents them from systemic absorption and irritation in the skin as well. So you've got a little sample in your goodie bag, and there's plenty of bottles knocking about as well. So have a little try and a little feel. I think for me, I always struggled with SPF because I was oily, I had acne prone skin. Irritated, I get really like itchy and sensitive as well, and for me it's got worse as I've got older as well. So you know it just happens. But I was really struggling with all the SPFs that were on the market. So whether it was a cheap one or an expensive one, I really struggled. So when we developed Synergy 6, for me it was about having an SPF that was wearable, because most of them aren't wearable. Your makeup doesn't sit right on top. They leave an ashy look on your face. They feel greasy. They irritate eyes, all these different things. So all those things were considered in the development of it. But it's more than an SPF as well. It is a blue light filter, a pollution filter, a thermal filter. So the heat energy from the sun activates something called your matrix metal proteinases, which are proteinases break down your dermal proteins, so they damage your collagen and elastin. So we have a thermal filter in there that prevents the activation of those MMPs, so protecting your dermal proteins as well. And then it's got antioxidants in it, vitamin C, vitamin E, and peptides in it for sensitive skin and collagen and elastin stimulation. So it's a really hard-working, multitasking product. So if you don't, I always say, with the intradermology range, I really wanted to simplify how we treated skin. And I think if you use a really good wash, that's the right wash for your skin type, that's got some chemo exfoliating agent in it, especially as we get older, you don't want a a mechanical exfoliator. You don't want a scrub. You want something that's going to be a little bit more gentler to the skin. But then also, if you wear something like Synergy 6, which has got your moisturisers, your peptides, your antioxidants, and your SPF in it, sometimes just having those 2 steps can be a really good start for people, especially when you've got somebody, oh no, I don't want a 5-step skincare routine. I want to get up in the morning and put something on and get off. It just simplifies the whole process as well. So you've got your Finish, Protect and Wow, and then we've got the Intradermology sample stand there as well. Little overview of some of the products there, the masks, some of the peels, some of the Meso and the Wow Fusion device. So just as a reminder, we've got 2 needle lengths on the Wow Fusion device, the 0.6 and the 1 millimetre. The 0.6 is, we sell about 99 0.6 millimetre devices to every 1 millimetre device. In the early days, when I first launched, everybody wanted the 1 millimetre because they thought they'd get more collagen, elastin and more blood, and the results would be much better. But for me, even back then, I was like, no, actually what I wanted to, Patricia's going like that because she uses the 1 millimetre on all her clients without numbing cream. That's when I know there's a massive north-south divide. You know, in Scotland, everybody's tough, hard, they can really take it. You go anywhere past Birmingham, they're like that, you know, it's like before you've even touched them. So there's a huge difference. Do you still use the 1 millimetre device for most of your clients, or?
Yeah, but then I tried it on myself one time. For a few months at the back. We then tried it on each other, and it's like, whoa!
It's spicy.
Numb first.
Yeah. I'll use the 0.6 without numbing cream, but. So we sell more of the 0.6s, and that's really good for pore refinement, reducing oil, fine lines and wrinkles, for the delicate eye area as well, changes the texture of the skin and improves the elasticity. But I think the key to remember is it's not just about the device, it's what we put in it that's going to make the biggest difference to the skin. And then the 1 millimetre device, a bit more specific about what we're going to treat. So if Wow was going to be your only microneedling device, and whilst I think you probably picked this up from the training, whilst we call it a microneedling device, it's not like true microneedling like with a skin pen or a derma pen, both fantastic devices, but you have, 12 or 16 needles going up and down very fast, and they boast, oh, we make 1,000 punctures per minute and all that kind of stuff, where you completely obliterate the stratum corneum. With this, a lot of the stratum corneum is remaining intact as we're stamping into the skin, and I think it gives the skin a different quality. Now, if you were treating acne scarring, you might be better off using a pen if you had that modality in your clinic. If you haven't, you would need the 1 millimetre device. If acne scarring is kind of like their secondary concern, and maybe their primary concern is oily skin, for example, they've still got oily skin, they've got the acne under control, but they've got some residual scarring, then I would use the 1 millimetre with toxins, so that you're treating the acne scarring and targeting the oily skin as well. So consider, where I always say when you're doing your consultations with your clients as well, consider what their primary skin issue is, what they've come in, what's really concerning them, but then ask them what else might bother them as well, because we can look to think, oh, maybe they've got 2, 3, 4 different skin issues that we can improve with the Wow device, choose the correct needle length, and then the solutions that go inside it. For your thickened, toughened, keratinised, sun-damaged skin, none of you have got that in this room. You're all absolutely glorious, but you know the type when kind of, I said to one of my friends, has been a sun worshipper and a smoker all life, and we were out on Saturday, and I was like, I really want to just peel and microneedle her skin. But I would use the 1 millimetre on her. She's absolutely gorgeous, but she goes on holiday about 15 times a year, so she's very brown. You're going to see a thickening of the epidermis. Stretch marks, again, I don't know, does anybody treat stretch marks in clinic anymore? I think it's something that's kind of years and years ago, there was a lot of stretch mark treatments going on, and now it seems to have kind of declined. I think we're much more accepting of stretch marks. And for hair restoration, you're going to need the 1 millimetre device. So the solutions that go inside of the device, we've got our HA Factor 1. This is a non-cross-linked 1% high molecular weight hyaluronic acid, antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, super hydrator, improves your texture and tone, but also has that protection effect over your existing collagen and elastin as well, so creating that preservation of what you've got whilst stimulating new collagen and elastin. The Arvit, so my absolute favourite, as a revitalising complex, and it's got over 47 vitamins, minerals and amino acids in there. It's got full B vitamin profile, actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9 and 12. And as I said, it's a revitalizer. It'll stimulate collagen and elastin. It'll heal the skin, it brightens the complexion. I always say that everybody who has the Arvit touches the skin, oh, it's so soft afterwards. There's just something in it that makes the skin very, very soft. The Age Complex, a lot fewer ingredients, but this is our vitamin C based meso. The Arvit has no vitamin C in it, so it's really good for those people that might be sensitive to vitamin C's, your rosaceas, your younger clients as well. But this is our vitamin C based product, and then it's got L-valine, L-proline and L-glycine in it. So your amino acids for tissue repair, collagen and elastin production. What I love about the Age Complex is that you get an instant radiance to the skin because the vitamin C gives this flash effect to the skin. So for me, my favourite combination for my skin is I'm oily, slightly rosacea, well, quite rosacea, but it's much more controlled now and old, is HA, Arvit, Age and 50 units of toxin. And how you hyper-personalise is that the younger they are or the more sensitive they are, you might put more Arvit and less Age. And then as they're getting older, you want to just tip that balance. So I tend to have a little bit more Age. I think I have 0.7 Age, 0.6 Arvit in my device. And then the older they are, the more Age you might want to put in, but also a little bit of Arvit. What I do say is if they can tolerate vitamin C, always add a little bit of it in because you do get that instant radiance and it's good for collagen and elastin production and collagen banking. But also, if you can, put the Arvit in because that micronutrition through the skin is so important. And that's kind of, we want to feed the skin and we want to stimulate the skin. And the skin will only get stimulated if it's fed correctly. And I think as we move into this era of more regenerative products, the micronutrition of the skin is going to be even more important because we want to be regenerating healthier skin. We don't want, you don't want to be regenerating a poorer quality skin. You want to work on that micronutrition and that regeneration as well. Any questions? Nope. The Bright Complex. So the Bright Complex is for pigmentation. So for your deeper pigmentations, your deeper dermal pigmentations, melasma, and your epidermal pigmentation, your sun damage as well. This would be one exception to the rule sometimes where you don't put hyaluronic acid in the device because you always need to put hyaluronic acid in the device as a base because the viscosity of the solution that we make is so important because too thin, it will run out of the device. Too thick, it won't come out of the device. Phone's going off. Or you'll be like really trying to stamp it into people's skin to activate it. So the viscosity is really, really important. And when you've stamped that solution onto the skin, what you want to do, you want that puddle of hydration that we've created over those microchannels to have a surface tension to it. So we don't want it to roll off the skin. There's nothing more expensive than Botox on the couch roll. We want it in the face. So you want a surface tension over those microchannels that you've created so that it doesn't roll off the skin. It sits over those microchannels and soaks in slowly. It's like a three-way diffusion of solution into the skin. And I think it's this three-way diffusion of a solution into the skin that gives the skin the amazing quality that we see post-WOW. And the next morning, I think you'll notice it instantly. You might be a little bit pink afterwards, but the next morning when you wake up, most people say, I look like I had a filter on the next morning. It's super, super nice. So if you are spot treating pigmentation, so let's just say, for example, somebody's got a spot on their head here, just add 1 ml of Bright Complex into the WOW device, no hyaluronic acid, and you want to work that into the spots of pigmentation as best you can. Really work it in around the edge, all that kind of stuff. And then you're going to refill the device with what you want to treat the rest of your face with. So that's really important to do. If you treat the entire face with Bright Complex and all they've got is one patch of pigmentation, what you don't change the contrast between the patch and the normal skin, you just lighten everything. So there's no point. What you want to do is lighten that patch of pigmentation so it's nearer to your normal skin colour, and then it becomes less noticeable, easier to cover with makeup. People are happier. so many times we've seen people when we've been doing training sessions as well that have come in and they've got loads of pigmentation on their face and it's never ever that bothers them. So I would say it's quite difficult. Sometimes you want to treat somebody's pigmentation, but you don't want to point out to them that they've got pigmentation because you don't want to give them a complex. As you know, your bedside manner and how you make people feel is way more important than actually the treatments that you're going to do. So I would say if you can make them look like Claudia Schiffer, but if you made them feel bad, they just won't come back to you. Or you could do them some kind of mediocre treatment, but if they've left and they're bouncing out like that, oh, Patricia was so nice to me, she's so lovely, and they feel amazing, they're going to come back, because that's what we're in the business of, making people feel good and better about themselves and not just about doing the treatments.
Do you say the pigmentation spot goes darker first though?
So, yes, it depends. So if it's a deeper dermal pigment, you're going to get a dampening down of that pigmentation expression. So because it's loaded, the pigmentation one's loaded with tyrosinase inhibitors, which will dampen down the deeper dermal pigment so you don't get that expression through the epidermis. If it's epidermal pigment, it'll go darker as it's moving up through the skin. And one of the girls that works for us, well, she's not a girl, she's 60, but she's my friend. She's my friend. One of the ladies that works for us, she was using her retinols, and then she forgot to use her retinols. Then she peeled herself, and then she was like, oh, "Look what I've done to my face!" And she'd got this massive dark patch of pigmentation had come up down here and across the side of her lip. And I said, "Did you stop using your retinols before you peeled?" She went, "No, I forgot." Anyway, about 2 weeks later, she literally wiped it off with a flannel. She went, that pigmentation's come off with a flannel. So just from using like the lactic wash, keeping that skin cell turnover high. But yeah, it was getting darker and darker and darker. And then it just literally lifted out of her skin and wiped off with a flannel. I've never seen anything like it. And it had just gone. So yes, it can get darker. And I think when it does get darker, what I say with the pigmentation complex and the peels as well is that you need to do them more often, because your epidermal skin cells turn over, whatever, it depends as you get older, 32, 35 days, as you're younger, maybe 28 days, is that you want to try and get 3 treatments in as well, because you want to keep that skin cell turnover high and you want that epidermal pigment lifting. You just need to be careful that you're not going to cause any post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation as well. So just kind of gentle treatments and gentle lifting of that epidermal pigment. So a little journey results here. So these pictures are actually 5 years old now. It's very early days. So we use the Bright Peel, 2 treatments, 2 weeks apart, lactic wash at home, and then Synergy 6 daily. And that was her forehead kind of 2 weeks after. So you can see just the texture and the tone's different. The pigmentation started to lift. It looks much better. This is 5 years later. So that kind of just really stressing that importance of daily SPF, regular treatments. She has regular wow treatments. She stood over there. Sarah, it's my sister. Hi. Oh, it's cute. She went grey in those 5 years. That's for 5 years of working for Wow. That's what that'll do to you. Final few slides from me. We've got new product that's coming out. It's not quite ready yet, basically because I've not finalised the packaging. We can't get it into production until I've made a final decision on the packaging. I'm nearly there. I'm hoping Russ has sent the packaging off now. So yeah, it's going to be about another 12 to 14 weeks. But today we've got samples. So if you want to try it, it's here. You can try it. We've tried it at the other roadshows as well, and the feedback's been absolutely phenomenal. And it is a PDRN with vitamin B3 and glycerin as well. So I'm just going to talk to you a little bit about the polynucleotides, how they work, why we've mixed them with B3 and glycerin as well instead of hyaluronic acid, because I think everybody wants to just put them with hyaluronic acid, but we've got plenty of hyaluronic acid in the range. I was like, I don't want any more hyaluronic acid. I've had enough of it. Polydeoxyribonucleotides are strands of DNA, and I've got a slide here as well. Who's using polynucleotides in their clinic? Is injecting polynucleotides as well? So I've got a little slide about why PDRNs and polynucleotides are slightly different. They have slightly different effects on the skin as well. So they're there to help with tissue repair. They help with anti-inflammatory. They're antioxidant. They build structure and strength and bounce to the skin and really create this regeneration in the skin. They help stimulate collagen and elastin and your fibroblasts. They contribute by maintaining your glycosaminoglycans, your proteins and your fibrils. And then there's loads of studies as well that have compared polynucleotides to hyaluronic acid. And what we see with polynucleotides is that increase in strength, structure, elasticity and bounce in the skin as well. So really good quality skin. So why mix it with B3? So vitamin B3 is a really potent antioxidant. It's very anti-inflammatory. So those of you who've worked with me for a bit, I'm all about anti-inflammation. I think I started my aesthetic career selling collagen stimulators that worked on stimulating collagen by a constant inflammatory response. And we said there can be issues with this as well. So you have, especially, I've seen issues like when women have had a collagen stimulator and then they get pregnant, or they've had collagen stimulators and then they go into menopause. So there's this kind of connection of like inflammation and changing in hormones as well. So for me, I promised myself that I would have an anti-inflammatory portfolio when I started, mainly because I've got autoimmune diseases as well. So you don't want to create any extra inflammation in the body. And we know that if one part of your body gets inflamed, it can signal to other parts of the body and create inflammation. So as Julia's going to talk to us a little bit about when we get to her talk as well. So adding B3 in is that powerful anti-inflammatory. It's a brightener as well. It's really good for people with acne and skin conditions that are inflammatory. B3 strengthens the skin barrier. When we deliver it through the Wow Fusion device, those microchannels are helping with that penetration of the product into the skin. We see a reduction in pigmentation. We see a reduction in transepidermal water loss. Transepidermal water loss is a bit of a challenging one, because when you microneedle and you completely obliterate the stratum corneum, you get excess transepidermal water loss, which creates excess inflammation, which stimulates collagen and elastin. But for me, I think you also want to minimise your transepidermal water loss, because you need the water and the hydration still in your skin. That's why I like the Wow, because it has a lot. We get some transepidermal water loss post-treatment, but a lot of the stratum corneum is remaining intact. And then B3 is ideal for post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation, any dullness, early aging, rosacea, acne, and a compromised skin barrier. We've mixed all this in with glycerin. So glycerin is a real skin conditioner. It's a real, it's a fantastic kind of gliding product as well, but it will give a really softer, smoother, better texture to the skin. We see reductions in dryness and flakiness. It helps with the skin barrier as well, rebuilding the skin barrier. It helps with the penetration of the PDRNs and the vitamin B3, and it's really soothing and non-irritating as well. So really nice addition into the product here. So just a quick graph about the difference between your polynucleotides and your PDRNs. So your PDRNs have a slightly smaller molecular size. That's why they can be microneedled in rather than injected into the dermis. So we're going down to that epidermal-dermal junction with these polynucleotides. So they're a real skin conditioner, I would say. PDRNs heal quicker than polynucleotides, so they are better on the surface of the skin and really good for like wound healing as well. They are more anti-inflammatory than polynucleotides, but what you get with the polynucleotides is better structural repair and firmness and elasticity, because you're injecting them into the dermis as well. So we still see an increase in elasticity and the structure of the skin with PDRNs, but for your polynucleotides, you're going to get that thickening of the dermis. And there's nothing to say that you can't use the two of them in conjunction as well. So you get that ultimate skin conditioning on the surface of the skin, anti-inflammatory, accelerated wound healing, and then that deeper dermal structure and elasticity. That's the old packaging, changed it. That's about the fourth picture I've had up there. Me and Russ changed it again the other day. But it's going to look something very similar to this. So I'm not branding it Wow. I'm branding it Circa Skin. I think everybody's like that. Oh, who's Circa Skin? I'm like, well, that's the company that owns like all the brands and stuff. So I'm really trying to, this year is going to be like the year of trying to get the name Circa Skin out there so that more people understand it. But I think the PDRNs have a much wider use than just in the Wow Fusion device. They can be used for microneedling as a glide. They can be used with a mesotherapy gun. They can be used post lasers, CO2, all that kind of stuff to kind of really accelerate the healing process. I don't know if any of you have got a Neogen, but things like that, they're going to be really good for all those kinds of post-treatment as well, to speed up the healing process and create that regeneration in the tissue. So we've got some offers on, but the leaflets that are coming later have got the offers on as well. So the offers that we're going to be doing today is if you buy 12 Wow Fusion devices, you can get 2 free. If you order over £500 worth of product, you get a 10% discount as well. 15% off £1,000, 20% off £2,000. It does exclude your PDRNs. I've got a separate offer for those, but it includes your intradermology. So for those of you who have just trained and not bought any products yet, we do a post-training offer. This is better. We can do you a better deal, but also you don't have, it's not a minimum order quantity. You don't have to buy £500. It's just if you want your discount, you will have to buy £500. So if somebody says, oh, I just want a couple of devices and a couple of boxes of meso, that's absolutely fine. We work with all different sizes of business, and I think minimum order quantities can put so much pressure on a small business, and that I'm a small business myself. It really bothers me when someone says, you need to order 10,000 of them. I'm like, I need 1,000. I'm like, oh, sorry. So, I understand the difficulties that it can be sometimes of a smaller business when you've got these bigger companies that say, oh, well, yeah, to start up with us, it's £4,000 first order. And then every time you order, you have to order another £1,000 worth of product. It's just not conducive for business for most people. With the PDRNs as well, so we're doing some pre-orders. We're taking a £50 deposit on the pre-orders. They are £200 instead of usually £250. There's 25 mils in a box. The vials are multi-use as well, like the other Wow products. And if you buy 3 boxes, you get 1 box for free as well. So you can get 4 boxes for the price of 3. And then with Kaisense, we've got some free Kaisense for you to take because it's out of date at the end of May. I just want it out of my hands. I'm like, take it, have it all. But also if you buy 3 boxes, you can get a box for free, and 5 boxes, you get 2 for free. Like I said, these offers are printed on the PDRN leaflet that's coming this afternoon, so you can all go home with one of those as well. You don't have to order either at the roadshow. It's fine. We're going to leave it open probably until the end of June, because our last roadshow is the 16th of June, and then we're going to extend those roadshow offers to everybody who's come to all the roadshows up until the end of June. So if you wanted to buy something now and then you use it and you want to do another roadshow offer before the end of June, you can also do that. We'll just keep that offer open for you up until the end of June. Now, did anybody here come to the Delivering Demand webinar that we did? No. So we're working with a company called Delivering Demand. Gemma Edwards has been in the industry for ages. She runs Facebook ads for clinics, but she runs Facebook ads for other companies as well. So if you've ever seen like a Morpheus 8 or a Hydrofacial ad on Facebook, it's usually Gemma that's done it. So she's got this new hybrid system that's using AI, a CRM system, and existing ads. So some of my customers signed up for this already. And she runs Facebook, her system runs Facebook ads. You can set the price, you can set your location, you can set your budget. I think so far Laura's paid £600, and she said she's had over 90 leads for Wow. And most of those people have booked in. So we're just trialling it now with some smaller clinics. But after the roadshow, when we've launched the PDRNs, we're going to do a national campaign. You will need to sign up to it because we will need to get all the practitioners that are signed up to it on a list, on a website. We'll pay for the ads. We'll run the ads nationally. The general public, the leads that we're going to generate will book now. They will pay us £20 deposit so that their appointments are locked in. and then they will choose their local practitioner. Once they've booked in with that local practitioner, we're going to send you the free Wow Fusion device because we're taking the £20. So for that, you'll get a free Wow Fusion device. Well, it'll cost you £20 because then they're going to pay you the balance. And the idea is that we get these leads into your business and then you upsell them. So you're upselling them the SPF, you're upselling them to a course of 3, you're telling them what other treatments you've got in the clinics as well. But it's just there designed to kind of generate leads and through flow to your business. And as I said, Laura's done really, really well. She's running ads for HIFU, laser hair removal and Wow. And she said she had over 90 leads, I think, for Wow, but she's had probably about 150, 160 leads into her business in 6 weeks, 4 or 6 weeks. So really, really good lead generation.